So Henry Cavill, the guy, I mean, the guy's a nerd, and that's a good thing. I mean, you've heard the story of him possibly losing the role of Superman because he was too busy raiding in WoW. Yeah, he's a giant nerd. So if he was at the helm of making a live action adaptation of a game, he's the guy I would go to. Um, because you know that he would make it the way fans want it. He wouldn't be adding anything unnecessary. He wouldn't be trying to appease the 0.00001% of people. No, he would make it faithful to whatever it is he's adapting. And apparently he had something going like that, but Games Workshop and Amazon entirely content to let Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40K live action project die, because of course they are. Because who cares about that when you can take IPs that people love and butcher them? He probably isn't doing enough butchering of the IP. Like, oh, not too little butchering for our liking. You got to give the old Rings of Power treatment. New rumor claims that Games Workshop and Amazon are entirely content to let Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40K live-action TV or film project die. In Games Workshop's 2024 annual report, the company God, seemingly confirmed a rumor that YouTuber Arch, who claimed in June. Right now, the agreement in principle between Games Workshop and Amazon appear to be in effect. This means that a team at Amazon, a team of writers, is now trying to write out a story that is going to be turned into a Warhammer 40K television show. They have, I believe, a few more months on this deadline for this project, and they have it, have to hand it in. And then it either has to be greenlit, or they have to have their writing date further postponed in the hope that they can produce something better further down the line, or the entire project will be shelved. Oh, my freaking throat. Had to get some water. He added those are three opportunities. Either they'll have a project and they'll go ahead with it. They'll shelve the whole thing, or they will extend the deadline and try and get a decent product going. In other words, nothing is finalized yet. Absolutely nothing. There isn't even any money for the project allocated, as far as my insider can tell me on Amazon's behalf. No writing staff has been truly hired. No money has been truly allocated. No plans have truly been made. In the company's annual reporter, it stated Games Workshop and Amazon are working to get. You're right there, Roxas. He's just like laying down and then suddenly just like working together for a period of 12 months ending in December 2024 to agree to creative guidelines for the films and television series to be developed by Amazon. The agreement will only proceed if the creative guidelines are mutually agreed between Games Workshop and Amazon. We will update you accordingly. The report also detailed that if things do go well, Amazon has the rights to develop Warhammer Fantasy as well. It states under the terms of the agreement, springs up, and then goes back to sleep. Or such a hard life being a cat. You're right there, Roxas. Oh, my life. My life is so hard. Being able to have food handed to me, water handed to me, sitting in a window, safe and sound from the evils of the outside world. Woe is me. Was I working on exclusive rights to Amazon in relation to films and television series set within the Warhammer 40K universe, together with an option for Amazon to license equivalent rights in the Warhammer Fantasy universe following the release of the initial Warhammer 40K production. Now Arch provided an update where he shared it's been complete radio silence on the matter of the TV show ever since we had the last update the last time around. It appears as if both Amazon and Games Workshop are entirely content to just let the project die, honestly. He added, even with a 1 month extension into January, nothing seems to have been produced. Still no money is allocated. Still no accounts have been created. Still no contracts have been signed, etc., etc. Arch did provide details on Henry Cavill's role with this project. Previously announced back in December 2023 that Cavill would be championing a group of screenwriters to bring the Warhammer 40K project to live action, and he will be serving as executive producer. Again, if it was Henry Cavill, I would trust, because he knows what the player will want, or the viewer will want to see. Which means that it would probably bomb horribly. If he had full creative control, that'd be great, because he wouldn't be filling it with unnecessary identity politics and all that bullcrap. But then all the other the journalists, and they'd be like, "This show is terrible. This show is terrible." Why? Because it sticks true to the universe, and it doesn't have any of that crap shoved into it that it shouldn't. So if he did make it the way he wanted, and I mean, we know it could be done, making a product that people like. Again, I bring up the Mario Brothers movie, $1 billion, $1 billion, because it didn't have any forced crap in it. It was just a fun movie for everyone, because there's no one in this world who hasn't heard the name Mario. Like, oh, I don't even play games, but I know who Mario is, so I'm gonna go see the movie. It looks pretty fun. The marketing was great. Five Nights at Freddy's, same thing. Marketing was great. I mean, I would have enjoyed the movie a lot better if the people next to me would have shut the hell up. But no, they're just the whole fucking time. So when I had a chance to go on, Amazon Prime and watch it, I enjoyed it so much more. I was able to see the smaller details and not have to worry about people writing blah, 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 blah. Actually, no, it wasn't blah, blah, blah. It's more like blah, 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 blah. Whispering the entire time. But, yeah, so with a good enough team and someone directing it, Warcraft, despite what people say about Warcraft, that movie was really good. It was really good, and especially seeing some of the, best known characters finally live action on the big screen. You got to see the orcs, if you really were paying attention, you got to see the warlords of Draenor. You got to see Gromosh and Kargath. You got to see Kilrog. So, if you were, I think they said Ner'zhul was in there, but I mean, Ner'zhul as a character, his model and everything is pretty basic. So you wouldn't really be able to tell him apart from, like, just an orc shaman. A proud orc shaman. No one's gonna get that reference. But yeah, seeing like Gromosh and a live action Gorehowl, one of the most legendary weapons in the Warcraft universe, getting to see that on screen, it was so cool. But you need a good team to bring all this stuff to life. Not like, say, a Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers, where it's like, oh yeah, two people who have never played the game before, who have no idea what Mario is or what it's about, trying to make a movie based on, like, the first game, and it's like, you bring in people who know what they're doing. But with things the way they are, be like, oh, well, we need to force this crap in there. It's just, no, why can't we just make a product for the gamers? Not the 0.00001%. No, the broader amount. But yeah. Games Workshop stated in a blog post, all we can tell you right now is that an elite band of screenwriters, each with their own particular passion for Warhammer, is being assembled to help bring the setting and characters you love to the screen. The illustrious group will be championed by Henry Cavill, who is a giant nerd, which is a good thing. You know, some people will use that as like you know, an insult, but no, the dude's a nerd, and that's a good thing. Who stands ready to take his place as executive producer, bringing his pen, sword, and/or spear to the project. As for the first project, as when the first project might arrive, Games Workshops detailed, TV and film production is a mammoth undertaking. It's not usually for projects to take 2 or 3 years from this point before something arrives on screen. Still things are now properly rolling, and you can bet your bippy we're bringing you all the latest updates and cool snippets as soon as we're able. Enola Holmes 2 as Sherlock. Huh. In Arch's most recent update, he shared Henry Cavill's influence is likely extraordinarily limited, if he has any influence in the matter at the moment at all, at the moment, which would kind of be crappy. I mean, let someone direct it who knows about the game. If he is truly a fan of the game, he will make a product that people like, and he will make people lots and lots of money. We're not in the business for that anymore. No, let's just take beloved IPs and just, live action or whatever, and just cram it full of modern day politics and all that. And then when people don't like it, oh, you're just a bunch of phobes-ism isms. Let's not acknowledge the fact that we took a beloved franchise and just filled it with crap that wasn't there in the first place, or, crap that wasn't needed. No, it's the fans' fault. It's always the fans. He makes this conclusion given he doesn't have an employment contract with Amazon or Games Workshop right now. Merely the promise that if the product ever actually goes through, he will have a role in it. Information when available. You share both sides have concessions. The female custodes thing. Yeah, I think Henry Cavill was kind of vocal about that. So, for example, was almost guaranteed, in my opinion. A move on behalf of Games Workshop to placate Amazon, or demonstrate to them what would happen if they would push for female space marines. Massive outcry, that is. And to hammer it home to them that, yeah, it's not going to be a very good idea. I mean, yeah, Henry Cavill was like, no. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, of course, Amazon has their diversity quote. Yeah, that's pretty much one of the problems that people are going to have. It's taking Warhammer 40K and just forcing diversity, forcing political bullcrap in there. And then when the fans are like, this isn't what we wanted, the fans get called phobes, and isms. So, I mean, Amazon has their diversity quota, and they also want the Space Marines. They're not really interested in the Imperial Guard show. I reckon because they're not the poster child, even if an Imperial Guard would be, well, 1, cheaper, 2, more easily relatable, and 3, goddamn, just make your move about Cyphus Kane. Oh, goddamn it. Kane would work so goddamn well. As for Amazon's concessions, he noted they did give Games Workshop the account access, for example, to flag various items on various Amazon's website to take down things that GW were of the opinion were in violation of their trademark. As for why there's radio silence and no movement, And maybe the Games Workshop is a little too uppity and decided to demand their own authors be allowed to create the screenplay. Again, the Black Library authors are excellent book writers, but they have no business writing screenplays, and Amazon probably knows that, and Amazon probably knows they can't really afford another big flop here. And when I was scrolling down before I started recording, my stupid ass thought it said the titties. Just like really look at it really, really fast. It's like TITTIES. The titties. But then then you realize what it says and you're like, okay. You concluded right now, I would say that the probabilities lean more towards the entire thing being dead than it ever being greenlit. I mean, stay hydrated, kids. Um, if it's gonna be one of those live action shows where they just get control of it and they just force as much diversity and all this other bull crap into it rather than acknowledging what the game is and what fans want, maybe it's for the best. Especially if Henry Cavill wouldn't exactly have a lot of say about what goes on. Because if he was in complete control, you would get a good show or a movie or whatever. Because again, he's a gamer, he's a nerd, he knows what the mass majority of people want, and he's not going to cater to a very, very small group of people just to try to make them happy when losing money from those people aren't going to be nearly as effective and costly as losing from the 99%. So he's not going to be like, oh, we got to make sure we diversity. No, he's going to make it the way the movie it should be made. But yeah, I mean, people love this game. It's been around forever. And I don't think there's been any other like Warhammer like live action or really anything like that. But it you know, it's like like I said with the Warcraft movie, it was headed by someone who loves the game. And even though they changed some things a little bit so that even if you never played the game, you can still understand what's going on. Because if he was to make a game solely for fans, other people who have never played the game are like, what the hell is this? Who's that? What am I doing? What are we doing here? I don't understand anything. So they kind of had to change things and events in the game in the movie to kind of to help those along who have never seen anything Warcraft related, who never played it. And that's fine. It was still a good movie though. You had your normal bit of events, like Medivh, his death didn't exactly happen the way it happened in game, but it still happened by the same people. Garona still did what she did, except instead of the throne room and in Stormwind, it happened on the battlefield. So the events still happen the way they happen. It's just more way for people to understand it. So if they have the right team and not people who claim that they like the game, oh yeah, we have a talented writing staff who love the game. Are you sure they love the game, or are you just saying they love the game? But people are, at this point, especially Amazon, people are just tired of having games that they love, like Warhammer, World of Warcraft, stuff like that, or IPs like Lord of the Rings, and just having modern day crap shoved in. And then when they say, hey, this isn't what we want, it's like, oh, you're just a bunch of phobes, and isms who hate strong women and diversity and this and that. So, but anyway, what would you guys think of a live action Warhammer 40K movie, TV show, uh, headed by Henry Cavill. Again, the guy's a nerd, so it'd be in good hands. Be in good hands. Um. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.